He's almost the gay version of Hugh Grant's character from About a Boy. Like, he had a one hit in the 80s, and he never made it.
Get him. Punch yourself. Oh, I think you got him.
Oh, I did get him. That was like a Shakespearean, you piece of shit. Got rid of it.
Got rid of it.
Got rid of it. Got rid of it. Got rid of it. Doesn't take much.
There's just some times.
You guys just keep talking, huh?
These Catherine, just weird. Yeah, I mean, this is why a podcast started, because we're like, we'll just talk. You might as well put microphones.
We won't bother Catherine anymore.
Welcome to Your Inner Child is an Idiot, the podcast where we look back things smart. Welcome to Your Inner Child is an Idiot, the podcast where we look back. Holy shit. See, this is why I don't do the intro.
A curse has been put upon this podcast by Catherine.
Welcome to Your Inner Child is an Idiot. This is the podcast where we look back on things from our childhood and see if they were any good to begin with. My name is DJ.
And I am Damon.
Damon?
Yes.
You son of a bitch. Are you ready?
Typically, I am ready.
Okay.
For guessing, I love guessing. Go.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you going to do a game like I gave you a game?
I'm not going to let you choose between different ones, but I'm going to let you kind of decide what, if you can guess what this is. So I would say that this was consciously a choice. Like, every once in a while, we are two cis men who like came from the childhood, and sometimes we got to be like, we got to do a girl thing, right?
Sorry. You described us as two cis men who came from the childhood.
Came through a childhood experience with that perspective. I just skipped a bunch of words for some reason.
No, it's true. Get to the point. That's what I always say. This is an elevator pitch.
Why
Sell
use
me
more
your
words?
movie and or product or show.
Why use more words when some less words work well? But it's like, we like to do, like, let's do a girl thing, we'll say, because we feel like we do too many boy things.
Yeah.
So this is definitely in that realm.
Girl thing.
Lauren, this is Lauren's suggestion. It is a film.
Okay.
It is older than I thought. But still, I would say it's in
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I'll give you, it's in the very early 2000s.
Okay.
And it is
9/11.
a film based on a book, and it now has it has several sequels. This movie. It also has now a musical based on the movie, based on the book.
I was gonna guess one thing. I was gonna guess Mean Girls, but Mean Girls has no sequels.
No, not that I know of. Or Streets of Video, they are. There's
Mean Girls, the prequel.
Stars a woman, an actress who was a very big deal at this time, and then is not as big of a deal now. But that's not very big of a hint.
Agreed.
She plays a British character, the titular British character. We have
Bridget
it.
Jones.
It is Bridget Jones's
and
diary.
Her diary.
Yes.
Good. I'm excited about this.
Here's why I'm excited to watch this. I've never seen it. And
okay.
I think there will be a certain amount of charm in it, because I don't think it's something that is like a bad movie necessarily. However, it is very early 2000s, because I know a bulk of the character building, or I wouldn't say a bulk of it, but a lot of the character building and humor comes from making fun of how fat Renee Zellweger is, or how fat Bridget Jones is, who is like
she's
just
always trying to lose weight, and she's always trying to quit smoking, and she often I don't want to say struggles, but yeah, struggles with both of those things.
Doesn't. And she's like not even a normal person, a like attractive, very good looking person, an actress, a famous actress.
I mean, she did. I think she said she put on weight for this, but she still is a normal sized person. But I think it also speaks to, the beauty standards we put on women in the early 2000s, especially if you're not fucking Paris Hilton walking around. Simple life in
Paris Hilton. How did you say her name?
I legally am not allowed to say her name. She knows why.
It's like, would you like a Pupsy? I'm sorry, what?
My parents bought our Paris's Halton in the bags at the bottom of the Paris Hilton aisle. I could not afford the Paris Hiltons that all the kids had. My Paris Hilton came in a bag, and I had to assemble her myself.
I'll take that DK bag. I'm sorry. What?
There's at least 20% too many letters.
Something is not right. Did you have a relationship to this movie, or do you now, I guess?
I was in college. I think this was was it 2004?
2001.
Oh, really?
2001.
Okay. I was in college when saw this, and I remember my friend Kristen, she had read the book, so she was excited to see this. And I knew almost nothing going into it. Yeah. So even though it does, I think in retrospect, follow romantic comedy tropes, I was surprised throughout because I had no idea where it was going. And this had never seen a
romantic comedy before this.
True. I didn't know that those two things could be in the same movie. It's like, pick one, you know? This is the first time that I was attracted to Hugh Grant because he got rid of the floppy hair and he had like sort of a cute spiky cut.
Yeah.
2000s era spiky cut. And then also this is my first Colin Firth movie.
How do you feel about him?
I'm generally pro, but I am also very surprised by the women who are like, that is my dream man. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah, like, that comes from what was he? What was the period piece he was?
Pride and Prejudice was, I think, his big. At least stateside was like the big moment where everyone was like, and they would take their shoe off and hit themselves on the head with it. Their eyes would bug out and their tongue would roll out like a carpet.
I was never like crazy. Like Renee Zellweger was not my like number one or something, like, you know, like, but Jerry Maguire is one of those, probably similar to Pride and Prejudice was for Colin Firth. They're like, hey, it's a pretty lady. And then that's it. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, pretty lady. I'll get out of here now. Thank you, Ms. Zellweger, for your time.
Thank you. She's like, thank you for that. I'm so glad that I have the mild approval of this man.
So you didn't see her in her big break, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation?
What?
Her big break was being in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like a sequel of a sequel of a sequel, with Matthew McConaughey and her. They got chainsawed, I assume.
Yeah.
And I think she's not in it for much, but like once her career really broke out in Jerry Maguire and beyond, then, you know, the DVDs were like, go find a still from the movie where she's in it and you can see her face and put it on the box. Thanks.
How do you feel? I think most importantly, I think everybody's kind of waiting for me to ask you this. Like, how do you feel about the possessive punctuation situation in a title like this?
Bridget Jones's Diary?
Yeah.
Love it. My biggest pet peeve, the worst thing that happens in the world today, I think we can all agree, is when people don't know how to use apostrophes.
Yeah.
What is going on? People, when someone's name, when the noun ends in an S, it gets an apostrophe S.
Yeah.
So Miss Bridget Jones's gets an apostrophe S. Some people think if it has an S at the end, I just put an apostrophe. Wrong. That's only true if that person is ancient, as we all know. Moses, Jesus, they just get apostrophes. Everyone else, like the Bridget Joneses of the world, get Joneses.
Is that a MLS, like Chicago style?
I think that's Chicago style.
Okay.
And then there's the people who are just completely like outside of the ball field, who are just wandering around putting it on plural words. What happened to you?
Now, if Miss Bridget was with her family and she was trying to represent on, say, a welcome mat, her family, and you're at their home, so now she's like keeping up with the Joneses, and you're saying the Joneses' home.
I'm keeping up with the Joneses' home.
Yeah.
So then there would be Joneses apostrophe home.
So no extra S on that one.
No, because it's multiple Joneses.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and Henry Jones Sr. going on the adventure of the lifetime. That's their adventure. It's the Joneses apostrophe adventure.
Okay. So
now I am from a home that had an S at the end of our last name. And mother, near the end of the time I was living with them, got into the flags,
Yeah.
where you put the flag out.
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to the flag. Welcome to the flag. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was always bothered by the way people treated our name. With that apostrophe. The Xanthopoulos.
That's why you just pluralize it, the Xanthopoloi.
Yeah. It's the way to do it. That's the proper Greek way.
Yeah. As a Phillips, which is already like the origin of it is possessive. It'd be like,
how many Phillips do we have? How many Philip are we?
Well, it's like, at some point it was the son of Phillips, Phillips's, but it'd be Philip apostrophe S. And they're like, let's get that Sky Comma out of here. We can't have that. Phillips. That's it. And then Phillips's, we just like didn't say it. We're just like, what if we just don't? Let's find another way to say it. This belongs to a Phillips. That's how I would say it.
It is of a Phillips.
What a stupid thing I sent us down. But we're going to watch Bridget Jones's, you put that apostrophe wherever you want, diary.
No, do not put that apostrophe wherever you want.
Damon?
No,
Damon?
I will walk out of here.
Damon, this is my episode, and we're going to do it.
Rules are rules. Without rules, it's chaos. Do you want just apostrophes flying at you?
This is a punk rock show, man. And everybody knows I'm a punk. Everybody knows I'm not uptight about anything and certainly not punctuation. So let's just be cool, man. Cool. Bridget Jones' Diary, 2001. Renee Zellweger. We're going to watch along with us. We'll be back. Apostrophes. Damon is battling a fly currently, so I thought this would be good audio. You just hear him shouting at an insect. What you're hearing is him turning his lights on and off, and I think he's got a towel or something. He's slapping with the towel. I mean, it's not a bad fly battling implement. I think. It's not exactly a fly swatter, but it works pretty well, I think. The towel.
What are you saying? It works pretty well because I can get some real of like a Indiana Jones style whip action, but that one was perfectly still, and I still heard buzzing in the room. I just saw him fly by, so I don't know.
I started recording because I figured capturing you slowly going insane would be good tape. So
it's terrible. Just don't worry. Tippi's in here now too, so we're all.
Oh, she'll get it for you. She'll get it for you.
Tippi, can you do that? Can you do that?
Can we get Tippi on camera? You think? I feel like that's not going to work.
Get her on camera capturing the fly.
Well, no, just on camera. I just think for the people that are, seeing our clips. There she is.
Look at this beautiful
star of the show.
Woman.
Little Hitler mustache and all. It's really a beautiful cat.
Video.
Unfortunate facial hair.
They said that about Michael Jordan.
Yeah. And he took that personally.
Don't grow that mustache. Like, that's not a deformity. You grew it.
You have a choice. You have a choice in this manner.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
Let's just go.
I love it when you're in this mode. I think this is great. First, we had some computer issues, and then now we've got a fly loose, a fly that's on the loose. That's always a good headspace to be in, I think. When you're
love
having
it.
Fun, just a fun time. Why don't we just play the cave level of Battletoads real quick, just so we're all in the same.
I get that.
So, listen.
Yeah.
All I want to do is make a Patreon commercial for the middle of our show before we get back into it. And I want to relate something British. I don't know, a spotted dick, a Scotch egg, which I guess
a lift,
is Scottish.
A loo.
Can we do that?
Waitrose?
Do you think that's possible?
Greg's sausage rolls.
What if you go to patreon.co.uk?
Wait, don't do that.
Don't do that. I don't know what that is.
That won't take you anywhere.
But if you go to patreon.com/Your Inner Child is an Idiot, you can spit. Give us a few pence, and you could sponsor the show. You could be a patron. You'd be someone that's helping us create this, helping us continue to live in homes where occasionally flies get in. And we destroy the homes in the process of murdering the insect. You see this?
This is
what's
torture.
Happening now?
This could be
patrons,
you.
Patrons, you did this. Perfect commercial. We're back. We watched Bridget Jones's Diary. Would you like to recap this movie in your angriest British accent?
All right, there's a lady suffering from body image issues. She smokes too much, according to her. She drinks too much, also according to her. And she weighs too much, also according to her. And she starts having a very inappropriate sexual affair with her direct report at work. And wouldn't you know it, that man she was having an inappropriate relationship with was also having an inappropriate relationship with another woman to which he is engaged. And
in a British way, like he's on the phone with her, you mean?
Yeah, he's chip.
Yeah.
And then she has a very tumultuous relationship with a man who stole the fiance of said rogue rapscallion boss of hers. And she hates him, but then she finds out that story that was told to her from her ex-boyfriend was a lie, and her ex-boyfriend is actually the one who slept with Mark Darcy's wife.
The old switcheroo.
She falls in love with Mark Darcy. They have a relationship, but then Mark Darcy gets into a fist fight with the ex-boyfriend, Daniel Cleaver. And then Mark Darcy takes a job in New York. But does he? Yes, he does. But also, no, he doesn't. He comes back and they fall in love.
Yeah.
All the while, she writes about this in her diary.
The aforementioned Z's diary.
Ziz's.
Yeah. I was immediately offended by the description on HBO Max, which we're back to HBO Max because why the fuck not?
Yeah, it's a fun game we're playing.
And it refers to as a singleton, which I thought I don't know why I was like, that seems a little bit offensive, like calling her a simpleton because she's single.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I don't know where I was like, singleton, what is that from? But then she immediately, I said that to you before I started watching the movie, and then she immediately refers to herself as a singleton.
Yeah.
What is this? Is this a thing? Is this a
I
thing?
think this is a Bridget Jones.
Bridget Jones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a play on simpleton.
Yeah.
But she uses it to refer to herself. Self-described singleton. I don't know if are you familiar with the book at all?
I have not read it, or
neither have I, and I meant to look into it before the show, but then there was a fly, and I had to poop right before the show, so I was swamped.
Don't say swamp when you're talking about you're pooping.
The poop was fine; it was not swampy.
I know there was somewhat of controversy. I did read about that because of the casting.
Yes, people were very bothered by Renee Zellweger, a Texan. From the Republic of Texas, playing a British woman, but I think she does a great job. Well, I mean, I'm not an expert on accents.
I think most people's fears were allayed by the actual performance, but she's also not known. This was post Jerry Maguire. It's not like she had a thick Texas accent in Jerry Maguire.
Right. But I mean, Americans doing British accents is always tricky. So I think people were worried about that. Sorry, buddy. As two people who've already said chip,
The hell
chop,
you
chip
say?
each on this podcast. What can I say?
Look, all I said is I want to take a lorry to the lift to the loo that's in upstairs. So that's why I had to take the lift.
I want to take the lift from the ground floor to the first floor, as we all do, and go to the loo.
That's
maddening.
Have
a poo. They love saying have a poo there.
The fact that the second floor is first floor. What? I understand 0, 1. I understand where it comes from, but that doesn't make any sense to me. I cannot make that make sense. We're just not counting a floor? Okay, so I actually am not upset by that at all, if I'm being honest. I don't care.
Couldn't care less. Do what you want, England.
Do you think, how do you feel about gherkins? Are they the height of sophistication to you, or you think they're a little lowbrow?
Well, if you put a toothpick in the gherkin, then it is highbrow. Then it's like, oh, is the queen coming?
What if I wrap it in a little bit of cream cheese and maybe a ham of some sort?
How do you wrap something in cream cheese?
Well, okay. The cream cheese is the layer between the ham and the gherkin.
Oh, has that ever been done? Is that feasible?
I think so. If you come to classy parties like mine.
Oh, okay. I'd be up for that as well. I love ham. It's my favorite of the Luncheon meats. Cream cheese, I feel like is overused culinarily these days.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Cool it, TikTok. Cool it. We all have to shit sometime. We can't just be eating blocks of cream cheese.
I think it'll, help in some ways.
Maybe. Slide right out of you like a block. Still in the brick format.
You mentioned Moaning Myrtle is in this. That was the first.
And where would we meet her?
In
just
the bathroom,
to top it all off,
crying
in the bathroom.
That's just so that's just a voice that a person has.
Yes, that is her voice. She's not putting anything on. That is her voice.
I am meant to believe this is a person that
Shirley
has
Henderson has a voice that is that.
I don't know if I'm buying it.
I knew her from this. And I was like, hey, it's Bridget Jones' friend when I saw Harry Potter and the turfdom of No Trans is Here or whatever that one was.
Also James Callis, Gaius Baltar from Battlestar Galactica.
Which I kept calling Babylon 5 in my head. But yeah, he may be my favorite of all of her three friends. But I love all three of her friends. I especially love Sally Phillips. She's on Veep. She plays the Prime Minister of Finland on Veep, who just keeps coming up all the time. But she's very funny. She's on a lot of panel shows that I watch from England. She's great.
Yeah, James Callis, Gaius Baltar, plays he's like a singer, had a hit, like a one-hit wonder kind of thing.
He's almost the gay version of Hugh Grant's character from About a Boy. Like, he had a one hit in the 80s, and he never made it.
Get him. Punch yourself. Oh, I think you got him.
Oh, I did get him. That was like a Shakespearean, you piece of shit. Look at
it's one of the,
piece
it's like
of shit.
Shiny green ones.
Oh, I'm so something. He's moving again.
Oh.
Wait, are we in love?
Make sweet love to his proboscis. I don't think they have that. Do you need to clean the viscera?
I don't know. I have the tab open, so you're very small, so I don't even know what I look like.
I can't see.
I think that's my normal forehead sheen.
Okay.
Let me just give it a good buff.
Yeah.
Can you see yourself in my forehead?
This episode is completely off the rails.
This is garbage. All of this is garbage. Edit it all out and let's release a blank tape.
Why is there a minute of footage deleted?
He couldn't have killed himself. What child predator has ever killed themselves in prison? Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Let's not get into it. So,
oh, wait, we're completely
we're talking about.
Are we just
James
talking about
Callis,
side characters?
Tom. Yeah, he has one of my favorite lines because we see earlier that he's being occasionally recognized, and at one point,
he realized he never made hits because he could get laid for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he didn't need to do anything else, which is probably true in this era, at least. And at one point, a gentleman is trying to get his attention. He's like, "Yes, it's me. 9 years ago, no plans to record anything else." He's like, "Your chair is on my wife's jacket." Oh, sorry. I thought it was good. Good bet. I feel like I could work that into conversation. Yes, it's me 9 years ago. No plans to record anything else. But I haven't yet. I'll work up to it.
I love him. He may be my favorite. He also, I realized that it's his lines that for the most part stick out to me in this movie from when I watched it 15 years ago. Him just going into the Greek restaurant and just going, fight. But not in like we call the police, there's a fight, but like a real fight. Come quick. Like
in grade school, what you would do when you'd burst into a classroom unrelated to the fight.
And also, come the fuck on, Bridget. It always sticks in my brain.
Would you say that I found the email flirting deranged on company computer, emailing back and forth? Now, I know it's not set up as like, this is a good idea, but I just mean the very idea that you would do this. But this is a different time. Am I misremembering? I'm sure I've written inappropriate emails, but not to my boss and not on like company at publisher.co.uk email address.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I mean, I had a live journal back in the day.
Okay, and what was that?
And
URL, real quick?
There, it's gone.
Go on, yeah,
But I remember on Live Journal, I had a crush on a guy in college, and I used his first and last name, and it was eventually outed, and I was like, why am I so stupid? Online is online. We all have access to the online. And so it is funny to me that she, I do think there was a little bit of that early internet brain where you were so used to anonymity that even though you're writing it in a record that is accessible by presumably your IT department, you would just write it down. I also was wondering, like, did Bill Clinton just break our brains in general, where we were just like, we were so eager to defend this lecherous man that we just sort of like completely did a 180 on what we should have been doing, which was like, hey, you are her boss.
Yeah.
You cannot just be like commenting on her tits and her skirt. I also like that it went from 0 to 100. Like, he never looked at her, and then 5 minutes into the movie, he's like asking her about her short skirt.
Yeah, I also thought because that's after she has a rough night, and she shows up, and I'm like, is she not wearing a skirt? Because it does seem possible. They've kind of just shown her being kind of rough around the edges.
Yeah,
but they didn't, show her. It's just she's wearing a short skirt. And
Let me ask you this, because I commented that I went to see this not really knowing anything aside from my friend Kristen in college loving the book, and so I was like, yeah, I'll go see this movie. Did you expect him to go did you think he was going to hurt her feeling? Was he going to break her heart?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't expect him to go. I think that was what surprised me was him going 0 to 60 with the flirting.
Yes, that was insane.
Like you said, he didn't seem to pay much attention to her, and then all of a sudden he kind of was. But then,
well, I guess he's supposed to be like, he's just a ne'er-do-well bad boy.
Yeah,
in the publishing world.
But getting back to the email,
surely canceled by now. Surely destroyed.
No, certainly not Hugh
Daniel
Grant.
Cleaver.
Yeah. Do you recall when you got in trouble for saying things at work on the company computer? Not your current job. So I feel like we can
that's
talk
true.
about
I have gotten in trouble.
It wasn't flirting.
Yeah. For IMing people over like G-chat at work, getting in trouble for that. Now, in my defense, I mouthed off to the boss, and then they went through my G chats. So I got in trouble for mouthing off to the boss, and then they were like, "And here is our Exhibit A." And I was like,
and you were like,
"Yes,
yeah, I said that to you in person. Do you remember that?"
Yeah, I asked you to stop calling things gay.
Yeah, they were pieces of shit. So I just want to stand up for you a little
Thank
bit
you.
because fuck those guys.
And then I mouthed off on GChat throughout my entire career there with dear friends about how much they sucked.
And then somehow, even though I didn't know it at the time, you got me fired that way. So
you're welcome, because you were working there too.
For 1 week.
And they're like, we're going to of course, have to fire DJ. And then when you joined me out in the car, I was like, you thought you were being so brave. You were like,
I just walked out because I was like,
standing with my friend. And I'm like, they fired you too. And you're like, no, I'm doing this for you.
Does it count as standing up for my friend if I didn't know that I was going to be fired mere minutes later for no reason, really?
I'm counting it.
Okay, cool. I am too. How about, let's go ahead and talk about Hugh Grant's character a little bit here. Daniel Claver. Hotness factor. This is definitely peak Hugh Grant, right?
Absolutely.
Like, Oompa Loompa, maybe just above this. And then
just a notch below, because I love a green hair.
Yeah. Two kings.
Yeah, he is hot and sexy in this movie. He's all points in the face.
Pretty hot and tempting fat. He's fat. Mm-hmm.
He has just the slightest wisp of a unibrow going, which I love. His hair is just mop and flop.
Yeah.
It is going every which way. Could not be diagrammed. It's like an aerodynamics chart.
Yeah.
It's just
so
wow.
I think this is the hair is a good thing to stomp on for a second, because he's known for having good hair, but Notting Hill is a lot floppier, a lot less kind of, this is a perfectly controlled flop we've got in this.
Well, no, I would say it's the opposite, because I feel like in his early Four Weddings days, he had a sort of middle part, sort of flop.
Yeah.
And then this is just it's, I ran my fingers through my hair and it just falls like this.
I just don't care. I just don't care.
And yeah, and when he falls in the lake, when they go on their weekend getaway, out of control. And the nonstop smoking, turning my crank.
What do you think about so he's, as you mentioned, a ne'er-do-well.
A rogue.
He's a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
He is
dog.
actually the one that he was introduced to
Mark
Darcy, Colin Firth's character, his wife at some point, and then ends up sleeping with her. We're not mad at the wife as much, but okay. And so,
well, she's already gone. She's out of both of their lives. So
that's true.
The remaining, thorn in Mark Darcy's side is Daniel Cleaver.
That's true. And so he has told Bridget the opposite, that his heart's broken. She kind of doesn't understand why Mark Darcy's being such a douche about things, but.
Mm-hmm. And we don't find that out until the last minutes of the movie.
Much later. It's pretty obvious from the very beginning. And I didn't even know that this was a Pride and Prejudice thing, so I was not following any of that. Do you think we're
not able with the name Darcy just thrown around?
I mean, you got to be aware of the thing it's referencing more, I think. I've never seen Pride and Prejudice. I've never read Pride and Prejudice.
Neither have I. And I know that Laura Taylor, who was annoyed that we didn't know enough about Emma when we talked about Clueless.
Yeah.
She will also be annoyed about that.
That's fine.
Sorry, Laura.
I have Pride and Prejudice against that.
I've got both of them.
Movie,
you have Pride against
BBC.
it?
I mean, it's just past June. So, did you see that coming? Did you know,
no,
hey...
my 2001 self did not see it coming. I don't know why. It's like I had never seen a story before.
You never knew that.
I knew a conflict would have to happen, right?
You thought it was going to be a walk to remember situation. There's going to be a tragic death.
And then Bridget Jones succumbs to cancer at the end, I guess.
All the smoking.
All the smoking. And the drinking. Yeah, I mean, I totally fell for it. I don't know why. But I was Hugh Grant, as has been noted many times in his career, especially this phase of his career, is very charming. Mm-hmm. The charm is at 11 levels in this one. He's very sort of sexy, bad boy, flirty. It's very, it's very nice to be coddled in it. And so I think I'm overwhelmed with that.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, I can, being a straight man, it's like if any, especially when I was a single man, if any pretty server or cashier says anything to me, and I'm like, well, she seems really nice. And everyone's like, does she? It's the same with Hugh Grant, where it's like, he's just a good looking chap. He doesn't actually, but he has some good natured ribbing with Jones. He calls her Jones.
Yeah.
They seem to have good sexual chemistry, and she feels
he loves her giant knickers that she wears to
he doesn't
sexy date.
Yeah, he doesn't make her feel, she has some self-esteem issues at the very beginning.
Absolutely.
And so he helps her get through that in a certain way, and
then ruins her in a certain way.
Then ruins her because she walks in on a woman holding a publishing book, like a book. Is it a book?
I want to talk about this.
Binder?
I want to talk about a combination of that scene and then the following scene at the office when Bridget decides she needs to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
What? Because Hugh Grant goes on a weekend away with her, which I think is ostensibly to go to this Tarts and Vickers party that Bridget's family throws every year.
Yeah.
And the night before, Bridget says, I love you to Daniel, which I think is the reason like he sort of freaks out and is like, oh, I got to go to this meeting. They called it on Monday, but I have to go over the numbers, which I guess in the end is really half true. So it's nice and convenient that meeting was called.
Yeah.
And then when she leaves the weekend getaway, still in her tart outfit, which is like a Playboy bunny costume, and Tyler was like, why wouldn't she take it off before she left? She rode all the way back. She goes to his house to sort of see how he's doing and give him a break. And, she sees that there's a woman's cardigan hanging on the coat rack. And she goes up to the bathroom to find a naked woman holding like a giant business ledger in front of her.
Yeah.
And then the woman says, I thought you said she was thin. Actually, she wouldn't have done it in a British accent.
She's from New York.
From the New York office. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is such a ridiculous scenario. It was very... Have you ever seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
I have not.
In it, at the very beginning, the titular Mad Black Woman comes home to find out that her husband of many years is cheating on her, throwing her out of their huge palatial mansion, and is having a long-term affair with a beautiful model type. And to top it all off, it was their anniversary. Like, it's all these like levels of like, I'm so evil. And that's how I felt like during this, and then the combination of the next scene where Daniel Cleaver's like, oh, by the way, it's been a long-term relationship when we're engaged. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It was just sort of melodramatic to the point that it didn't take me out in 2001, but like trying to hear his very convoluted reasoning took me out of it this viewing. It didn't feel purposefully convoluted, like he's like trying to cover his ass. It just felt like, did something get cut from the book that is missing here? It feels very slapdash.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's going on.
I'd be hard pressed to call anything in this like super realistic, but it did seem like he's just kind of a little bit of a sociopath. You know what I mean?
So is he having a long-term relationship with this woman from New York, and Bridget is the woman he's having an affair with?
I think so.
Because the woman from New York seems pretty cool with it.
She seems not that upset about it, and then
takes a dig at Bridget's weight on the way out.
Which I think, is this a good time to step into the problematic corner? Is this a good time to dip a toe in there?
Let's go.
Hit it.
Watch out now, y'all. Damon's got a problem, baby.
Okay, so...
yeah,
that's gonna be really weird if they don't play if we don't play the music.
What if we have no control over it? You have to say Jackson's name 3 times.
This is recurring, is that and this from the book too, as I understand it. She thinks of herself as overweight and is a pretty slim and normal looking person, and so it's all relative. I think this is a different time for one thing, but also everyone is also referring to the fact that she needs to lose weight or all these kind of things. Or I thought you said she was thin, like you said, which is like, why would someone say that? Also, why would he say she's thin? Like, what are we talking about?
I should mention that the woman I'm having an affair with is thin.
Yeah, when did that come up in conversation while she was naked and holding a ledger? Sexual harassment.
The ledger
abounds.
had all the weights of each person.
It's a ledger. It's weights and measures. That makes sense. That's what it was for.
Yeah, she is not a particularly large woman. I think that Renee did put on some weight for the role, but it is a little ludicrous. But let me put you in the mindset of 2001, my dear Deej.
Okay.
Paris Hilton.
That's hot.
Nicole Richie. Nicole Richie, by the way, before she lost the weight she did have, was constantly, sort of lambasted about her weight. Britney Spears went crazy while the paparazzi was like making fun of any time she gained any weight.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a good time to not be rail thin.
Well, I also think it'd be one thing to, like, if you made this first movie today, it's not that she wouldn't have issues thinking of herself in a certain way, but you might frame it in a different way, where this is also kind of agreeing with it, with the criticism of her weight. Like, obviously it's coming from herself, but it's also kind of everybody agreeing. And I just don't think, I think it's just contextual, right, of the time, as you mentioned.
It feels very 2001.
Yeah.
I buy into, I think, one, Renee Zellweger, I think, does a fantastic job of making me believe that she is Bridget Jones, and I buy into that this woman doesn't like that she's single and blames it on her weight and her cigarettes and her drinking. It does feel very 2001 that a woman her size would be so, might be, bothered by the fact that she isn't thinner.
Yeah.
Because I think that people of all stripes were overwhelmed, especially at that time, like, you need to be thin, you need to be thin, you need to be thin. Yeah. Thin was the thing. Having absolutely no ass was in.
Especially if you're single, because you're not going to attract a man if you're not single.
Exactly.
Thin. Yeah.
So there is part of it that gives me the ick, but I do think it is sort of, I don't want to say a product of its time, like, oh, we can dismiss this movie, but like, it is, I don't know, I think it is as a documentation of what culture was feeding women, that maybe, who might wear a size 8 was how it was treating them. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Now, what about Uncle Grabass?
Oh my God.
Her uncle, who was not actually her uncle.
Not actually her uncle, still bothersome. Yeah. God, he sucked.
Yeah.
And he was always like half in the bag too.
Yeah. And there's quite a bit of like sexual harassment abounds in this movie, but it's also
James Faulkner, who I believe is Samuel Tarly's father in the Game of Thrones movies.
Films,
films, the TV films that last about an hour long. Yeah. He's the Uncle Grabass, Uncle Joffrey.
I don't know, it's played for laughs, but it's not appropriate. It's not meant to be appropriate. It's just kind of got this lecherous guy always grabbing her ass. I don't know.
I've heard from a lot of straight women that is also a common thing. Uncle who is like, watching you develop and commenting on it.
When it's kind of a real thing, a real gross thing that shouldn't happen, but does. And the same thing with kind of the inappropriateness in the workplace, where, what is the guy that works there too? What is he call him?
Mr. Tits Pervert?
Yeah. Mr.
Fitzherbert,
played by Paul Brook, but he is always kind of saying hello to, who is he called? Brenda or something? Hello, Brenda. And then just staring directly at her chest, which is funny.
Yeah. And also, like, his nickname being Tits Pervert feels like an inter-office, like, avoid this
everybody
guy,
knows
he's going to stare at your tits.
Yeah. So I guess I'm interested to get your thoughts on this approach, because it is very tongue-in-cheek. It is sort of being like, hey, this is what it's like to be a woman in the workplace, kind of poking fun at it, but also kind of existing in this world.
I mean, again, I think it is very 2001 and sort of like, oh, these guys are gross and we don't need to do anything about it, but they're gross.
It's I mean, it's harmful, but it's harmless.
Right. I mean, I think that maybe that's how we as men view it, but it might also be in Helen Fielding's novel and in this movie, just sort of like, we all know this is going on.
Yeah.
Like, then this is shitty, but this is how we sort of have to deal with it in the year of our Lord 2001.
Yeah, what were they going to do in 2001? You know, like
apparently keep a spreadsheet of gross men and then release it in 2016.
Yeah, they're like, this is going to be
tits perverts right on there, and I'm sure just under him and row 365 is Daniel Cleaver,
and we're going to have several years of some people facing some consequences for this, possibly.
Or they'll talk about the consequences they faced on the various media sources that they go and talk on about all the things that have affected their lives.
I'll tell you what wasn't canceled, all your television appearances.
All your comedy specials still going strong then?
Do you find the home video at the end problematic?
Oh, should I? Why?
No.
Because she gets naked?
They talk at length or repeatedly about how when Bridget was a kid, she would be naked in the yard with
her family were friends with the Darcys, and they would she would go to his birthday party and she would get naked and jump in his pool.
So they actually showed that at the end, and I don't think it's inappropriate. It's just kind of weird.
She does. I mean, she gets down to her diaper and jumps in the pool and splashes around. I didn't find it weird. I mean, I thought it was charming.
It is when people talk about how they've known each other for years, like in this case, they've known each other since they were kids. I've always thought you were, had a crush on you. And then later when you're adults, you get together. It makes you kind of confront how weird that is. If you really think about it too much.
She does comment on it when she and Mark are finally sort of having a detente. She's like, because he was 8 and she was 4. And she's like, it's a bit of an age gap.
Yeah.
It's a bit pervy, really. And he goes, in one of his first jokes in the entire movie, he's like, I like to think so.
That's good. All right. Do you have anything else for the problematic corner?
I'm trying to think. I think those are the big thing. The email back and forth, and then, you know, it feels very 2001, and that's all I can say is sort of about it. It's not overwhelmingly...
It's aged a bit, but...
Yeah, but even that feels like... I feel like, yes, this is a documentation of when being a woman in 2001 was like, I think, for a lot of people.
The slightly rom-com, not that it was better or worse than this for people, just like, you could have a sort of reflection because she got to kind of write about it and be tongue-in-cheek about it, in her journal and be funny about it. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get out of the corner. Let's get out of here.
Ooh, watch out now, y'all.
I farted in there, so it's going to
know about it.
Do you want to
you didn't want to mention A Very Cruel Race?
What?
You didn't want to mention that Bridget Jones' mother keeps referring to the Japanese as a very cruel race?
Yeah, that was problematic. I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
She says it twice.
But
I think that's also like, this is old people.
That belongs in the corner. Do you want to talk about... I do want to get to Bridget as a character at some point. Do you want to talk about Mark Darcy as a character?
Yes, I do.
Great.
From the little bit I know about Pride and Prejudice, this feels also true of that Mr. Darcy as well, of this feeling that, oh, this guy sucks. He doesn't like me and I don't like him. What? We're in love? Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think, that was a deliberate choice in naming him Mr. Darcy in the book. It's a deliberate choice in casting Colin Firth, who had just played Mr. Darcy in the BBC version of Pride and Prejudice. And I really like him. He feels like he's a lovable grump, especially at the beginning where he is just rude. He is curt with Bridget constantly. I was trying to think of like, what is his deal from the get-go? Yeah. He is bothered by her. I think because he's probably just introverted and she gets verbal diarrhea when she's in uncomfortable situations, just keeps talking, which is what she did the first time she met him. And then that put them on the off foot. She overheard him talking to his mother about, that he didn't want
Drink
to talk
too
to this
much,
woman.
yeah.
She smokes too much, drinks too much, and talks too much. And that always just put them on the wrong footing. And then when she starts having her affair with Daniel Cleaver, he tells her this lie about, Mark Darcy betraying him.
Yeah. So
And
she's
then-
kind of got him at arm's length because of that.
Right.
And he's obviously keeps giving her the stink eye whenever they do see each other. And she kind of gets confused. She's like, we got a fucking problem here?
But Colin Firth is very charming when he finally, like, his shell kind of cracks a little bit. It's very winning.
Yeah.
I have been told that sometimes I have a resting bitch face. And so I can understand why, I can understand what Colin's going through here.
It's the mustache. It makes you have a...
Oh, this was when I was 17. I remember
Okay.
working at Kroger.
Couldn't
and
grow a mustache.
a girl came in and she's like, smile sometimes. And I shot her
do that.
in the face. So,
Oh, Jesus. A chain eater. So do you... If you had... I did like when he comes over, she's making dinner for her friends and she is terrible at it. And he kind of charmingly kind of makes fun of her, but helps her kind of get ready, even though he doesn't fix her food.
well, it can't be fixed.
It can't be fixed.
That caperberry gravy is god awful. Whatever that was supposed to be, I cannot imagine, but it is disgusting when you see it.
I was worried for that dinner party. Are you guys going to go out to eat? Because now you have not had dinner and you couldn't eat. They were
you
all
might
very...
be shitting blue.
Yeah.
After
First
a
of
while.
all, don't poison your friends. Secondly, take them out to, I don't know, Chinese.
Hopefully, yeah. It was very, he does say you make the most delicious shit, which is very, or you make the most wonderful shit. She made us a leek soup, but she had to tie the leeks as part of the instructions, but she only had like a blue plastic string, like ribbon that you would tie a gift with, I think. And the blue leaches out into the cream and the soup. It's great. He's very charming though, in that's when his sort of shell comes down. Is that's after he says, "I like you just as you are." How do you feel about "I like you just as you are"? Because that's when she knows he likes her at that point, and he even like put his sort of career on the line in also a very rom-commy way in getting her a big interview. For at her new job.
Yeah, that was very nice. It also is kind of a turning point for her, like thinking about, because at some point Daniel comes back at that same party, and she's kind of confronted with this, and then that leads to the fight, which is just funny. But she's also confronted with the difference in the way that, because obviously until she was cheated on by him or had been found out her situation with Daniel, like she liked the way she felt. She felt sexy. She felt alive. She felt like, this beautiful man was into her, but how different it felt with Mr. Darcy, because he actually kind of appreciated her in a different way. And I think that's interesting. It's an interesting kind of like self-worth thing that she begins to feel. It's still wrapped up in, you have to have a relationship with one of these men. You know what I mean? Which is
yes,
kind of it's a romantic comedy. Like, I'm not going to fault it for that. But at the same time, I think that's cool. I think that's like, it's an interesting thing. You should.
Right. Daniel Cleaver is very, complimentary of her and, is very flirty.
Love bombing.
Whereas, love bombing. Yeah, that's actually a very good use of that term in that, but he's a rapscallion and Mark Darcy is very withholding and sort of cold when you first meet him, but, might be a better fit. Yeah.
I think they do a good job. We talked a little bit about, can we talk about Bridget just for a second?
Well, I just wanted to mention, he tells her, eventually he breaks down when she goes to this couples dinner, which also I remember being single and going to dinner with couples. And I also wanted to shoot myself.
Loved all the smug married couples, like saying hello in the same exact
Bridge.
way. They all go like, hi, like exactly the same tone.
Hello. It is very well done. That scene is very nice. So Bridge, when are you going to get paired up? That guy was ludicrous. That guy was like a Simpsons character. Like, who are you? Where did you spawn? He was like that Family Guy character that has the long jaw.
Richard Bottom Tooth. What is it? Yeah.
she meets him there, and she's leaving early, and he comes down and says, I like you. The thing is, I like you. And she goes, except for the drinking and except for the smoking. He's like, no, I like you just as you are. Now, Bridget, we can segue into Bridget. Bridget does what anyone would do, is immediately tell all your best friends what happened so we can unpack it. And then her friends do exactly what you'd expect all your best friends to do, which is to subtly bring it up in his presence so that he knows that you told everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what Tom does. He toasts to Bridget. He says, to Bridget, who can't cook, but we love anyway, just as she is.
Yeah.
And that's when Mr. Darcy knows she might like him too. It's gonna be okay. It's fine.
I thought you just hiccuped. I was
No.
like, you need
I'm not a cartoon drunk. I'm just a regular drunk.
Just a regular drunk. They do, speaking of being a regular drunk, they do, because we were talking about how it's hard to buy this beautiful actress as this kind of piece of shit. They do kind of do a good job of showing her as kind of a piece of shit. Like, she's
kind of a mess.
She is absolutely a mess. She does seem to drink too much. And I mean, it's kind of what too much is a little bit of a nebulous judgment, but she is very crass. And like, when she does meet Darcy for the first time, she's like saying inappropriate jokes and like laughing weirdly and being kind of, and then they show her kind of being bad at her job and showing up late and wearing inappropriate clothes and like flirting with her. But she is kind of a piece of shit.
She's
but
doing shots alone in her apartment at one point. I was like, how old are we?
Yeah. And, you know, she's supposed to be paired up, you know, at 32 or more married or having kids or whatever. And so I think it's a good example of, this is kind of the point of the story, is she deserves love and happiness too, even though she's kind of a piece of shit. And I think that many of us who either are pieces of shit or can be pieces of shit can relate
have the propensity to be pieces of shit.
Yeah. I think that's a very specific kind of romantic comedy notion that I do like, is that it makes you, if done correctly, which, spoiler, I think this movie does for the most part, it makes you root for the character, makes you identify with the character, and it doesn't make you go, I don't give a shit what happens to this character because they're a terrible person. So there is a line somewhere, and I think a lot of romantic comedies cross that line where you're like, I hope you never find happiness.
Are you saying we're not watching Bride Wars next episode?
I just ordered The Swan from... Sorry. I was trying to think of the most ridiculous reality show I could think of.
The Swan. Another thing from around this era. We hated women.
I remember when that came out being like,
what if we paid for your plastic surgery? Will you please just fix your fucking face?
Please don't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she is an absolutely, I think she is a very charming character. I haven't seen the other Bridget Joneses, the extended universe, but I think the movie does a good job because it's a perfect movie to have narration for. Narration can sometimes be a crutch. It's not in this instance. I think we get a better view of her personality from that narration because when you do encounter her with other people, she just does seem like a flibbertigibbet, a bit of a scattershot brain. And like when she's trying to talk to Darcy in that first scene, she doesn't have any funny jokes. Her jokes are all sort of like, oh my God, woman, what's wrong with you? And when she's at that couple's dinner, she's, they're like, why are people staying so single now, Bridge? And she's like, well, it doesn't help that, when you pull off our skin, we're covered in scales, and no one laughs.
It's a bad joke.
It's a terrible joke. And so I love seeing the juxtaposition of her, diary entries throughout. It's fantastic. They do occasionally, I mean, it is a little inconsistent. At one point, you actually see her writing, like when she thinks she accidentally crossed the line with Daniel Cleaver, and it writes on the screen, fuck.
Yeah.
And it never really comes up again. I wouldn't have minded more of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just see, entries about her weight, cigarettes, and
there's
alcohol.
Actually very little diary to this.
It does. No, it's not completely absent, but it's enough that sometimes I was startled when it came back.
Yeah.
When she would start a diary entry. I'm like, oh, are we in November already? Have we been keeping up with this? Tyler was stunned that it had been almost a full year. And I was like, yeah, she just said November and the movie starts the new year. And he's like, oh, I guess I haven't been paying attention. But what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, I love Bridget as a character. I mean, I can relate to feeling overwhelmingly single in my late 20s and feeling maybe a bit of scattershot in my career as well. So I think this is a very relatable character. Yeah, and I can also relate to, feeling like I don't have a great body and maybe I drink too much and maybe I smoke too many fags. They call them that there.
Did you, though, when you were single, say, I'm going to Bedfordshire?
It's charming. I did like her relationship with her dad. And I liked her mom, played by Gemma Collins, as we all know, or Gemma Collins.
Gemma.
Any English movie needs to have at least one Gemma on staff, so we know that it's a British movie. How is that just one name just not here? There are no Gemmas here. You look at the census numbers, it's 0, 0, 0. Every 10 years, we have no Gemmas.
It's like the metric system for US, they keep trying to foist it on us and we're like, no, thank you.
We are gonna drive on the right. We are going to use our stupid measurement system, and we're going to name all our girls Emily.
And we're going to
get out.
We are going to use the shit out of Emma, just to stick it in your face. Okay, so
we can do that.
I want the fight scene. I think is my nominee for the Sally Field Memorial Single Scene Award because it is delightful. These two unathletic men fighting in a very realistic people who can't fight way to
they're sort of kicking at each other
Raining
at
Men.
one point.
Yeah, it's very good and it's very funny and I liked it. And I also like that it's not a satisfaction. It's not a satisfactory result. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Colin Firth gets the final punch and kind of wins, I guess. But Bridget's mad at him because she still thinks it's the
also
reverse,
who gets in a fight. Like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, your grown men don't get in a fight, but
it's also kind of fun to see someone fighting over it.
Is
you know what I mean?
And as Tom does when he's like, fight. It's a good scene.
It is a very good scene. There was when they crashed through the window. I wish they had. I mean, their fighting styles are very clearly not very good, and I love that they keep falling in people's tables in the Greek restaurant. And Colin Firth's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll pay for that. I'm so sorry." And then when it's someone's birthday there at the Greek restaurant, and someone comes down with like a birthday cake, and they join in like the "Happy Birthday to you," and it's sort of like a truce for just a few minutes. Then they crash through the window, and I kind of wish they had like tried to crash through the window and didn't.
Yeah.
But it was a really good scene. It does remind me. How did you feel? I feel like. How did you feel about the needle drops in this movie?
I'm trying to remember.
RESPECT when she quits her job.
But like a weird version with like extra echo. It was like a DJ version or something when she quits.
There was like change. It was Aretha, but it was like something had happened.
Yeah. Something happened here. And Diplo's like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were all right.
We had
It's
the
Raining
Weather
Men was
Girls,
great.
It's Raining Men, and then there was Ain't No Mountain High Enough, right? I feel like there were a few others. Maybe.
Some of those feel tropey, but it's also like this was part of that reason, probably. Because this was.
I also wonder if we've come through like 25 years of needle drops in movies where it's like, I think I got it now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Quentin Tarantino, but I think we're all good.
No more music, please. Thank you.
I couldn't possibly. We're full up.
I know that I'm out of job if everybody says that, but I'm good. I had a good run.
No more.
Don't read someone's diary, even though if it ends well. Don't do that.
True. That I will. The whole Colin Firth ending was it was a little bit Lord of the Rings last 20 minutes where I was like, I know what's going to happen.
Stop jumping on the bed.
If you
Stop
could just
jumping on the bed.
It was just like she goes and talks to him, and then she goes to his Christmas party, his family's Christmas party, where it's announced he's going to New York, and he may be engaged. He's like engaged to be engaged to this woman at his law office, who I was like, what is your relationship, you two?
Yeah, they only talk about
he's
work.
Always taking her everywhere, but they're always talking about work. But it's obvious that she wants more, and is openly talking about it with Perpetua. But then like his family is announcing that she may be something else in law soon, and I'm like, why would you announce that? And then Colin Firth actually goes to New York. They do the business of like filming him outside a building that says "Welcome to New York," which felt very much like a post scene where we're like, hey, can we get a shot?
We're not getting
outside of a building.
The test audiences are not understanding this.
And then he's back in England to tell Bridget that he's coming back for her. And that was enough for me. And then there's like this beat with the diary.
She's trying to change into the skimpy undies. And
she changes. Yeah, it was a whole. I was like, it felt like it kept like not starting. And I'm like, we're right here. Like, you don't have to Judd Apatow this. We don't need an extra 15 minutes on this.
Yeah.
So it started to feel like, especially the shots of him in New York, I was like, there was no need for you to do this. We understand what the stakes are. We know that New York is far from England, so I got it. You don't have to like show him there. I don't know. It did feel annoying. And then he reads the diary. And so there's yet another beat where he walks off and you think she's lost him forever. And she finds him outside of a stationery store where he buys her a new diary.
But she's in her undies, just a robe.
And there ain't no mountain high enough.
Yeah.
Ain't no valley low enough.
Get me from you. Do you want to go to the verdict? I feel like it's time.
Well, do you want to talk about Julian?
Who's Julian?
You monstrous cunt. The one that Gemma leaves Jim Broadbent for.
Oh, I forgot. Does that belong up in a corner? What is his?
I love Julian. And I love that each time they mention him, the shade of his skin gets a little darker. At first he was a tangerine, then he was like red. And then when Gemma finally leaves him and comes back, she says, in all honesty, up close, he was almost lavender.
She gets a job. Her parents separate, and she gets a job on like a QVC kind of show. And this guy is, I kind of wasn't super following that. Like, what are we? This seems like you're having a B story that we're not really getting much of, and it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah. It does feel, I am charmed by old people falling back in love, as we may have touched on during Moonstruck. Yeah. But it is very charming. It does feel like, hey, if the movie runs long, this is the first thing that's going to be cut, okay?
Yeah.
And but they are cute. Jim Broadbent is cute, and Gemma Collins is cute, so whatever. And I love it when
he calls her something
you
upsetting.
Daft cow.
You daft cow. When he's
because she's like, "Will you take me back?" And he sort of says, "I don't know," and she starts crying, and he says, "I'm just joking, you daft cow. I just don't work without you." Now, in Britain's defense, which is not usually a sentence I like to start.
A bunch of countries right now are like, go on.
I'm sure our Australian editor loves where this is going. But in Britain's defense, we had to bring culture to these countries.
We have Navy.
I think calling someone daft and calling someone a cow is not... if you called someone a cow in America, that would feel fat-phobic. Calling someone a cow, I think, is another just word for you dummy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's charming when they get back together.
That's why the punks can be daft and no one is offended by it.
What'd you call me? I just want to talk about Perpetua's name because that's an excellent name. Are people really named Perpetua?
It is rare, and I think it's another name that somehow did not come over here. But I have encountered it sometimes.
Gemma, okay, leaving behind, but Perpetua, we got to get on this.
Sometimes I will see it in shows or books that are set in England that I see, and every time, like out of my memory palace, comes Renee Zellweger's voice going, Perpetua. Because she says it twice in quick succession.
I just saw, we'll have to speak about this later, but I just saw the most recent Jurassic Park today, Jurassic World. And
is there a Perpetua in that?
No.
Was there a dinosaur called Perpetua?
No, but you only learn like a couple people's names in a like normal way, and then the rest is just them yelling, to run from some dinosaur or other. And so I'm like, what did they say? Is it Shelley or Bella? You're just sort of shouting. Anyway, Perpetua! That would have worked really well.
It sounds like a great film.
Let's go to the verdict. Shall we?
No, we have one more award to give out. You gave out a Catherine O'Hara.
We can do the verdict, but okay, let's do it. Let's do it now.
I want to give it a shared award to the three besties.
Okay, that was good because I kind of want to give it to some of the charming men in this movie, but then I feel it feels wrong. So giving it to two women and a man.
Two-thirds women. That's perfect.
I'm for it. So that's Shirley Henderson as Jude, James Callis as Tom, and Sally Phillips as Shazzer.
And I love that she says, has he ever stuck his fucking tongue down your fucking throat? I love her.
Great. To the verdict we go.
Let's go there now.
Let's take Lori.
You and Lori.
Do you want to take the tube instead?
We can take the tube. We can take a black cab.
Okay. Don't bring
Just call it cab. You don't have to. But I'm proud of it being a black cab.
This was mine. You go first.
You're an Idiot Child is not an idiot. This is a very charming movie. There are little bits of stuff that are of its time, but I feel like that is true to the experience of a woman in her 30s who, is having to live through 2001.
It's a dark time for a lot of us.
I think everyone is very charming in this, even if they're rogues and scallywags. The cast is a who's who of who's that from that British show I watched that one time. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The characters are charming. They feel, especially Bridget and her three friends, feel like people you'd want to hang out with and maybe do shots of vodka alone in your apartment with. Wait, you can't do it with them if you're alone in your apartment by definition.
It's a Zoom. You could do a Zoom party.
Could, and who wouldn't want to do that? Yeah, we don't have enough movies with Salman Rushdie in a cameo. So, yeah, plus thumbs up. Or as they say in England, wuzzle wuzzle.
Here we go wassailing to Bridget Jones's Diary, 2001.
Sod off, she says to those carolers.
She says, bugger off. I like the face that she makes. I found that charming. She goes like, bugger off. It's very funny. I agree with you. Your inner child is not an idiot. I think I was kind of hoping for a little bit more incisive humor, but it was pretty funny. She's very charming. The acting is good. There are some edges that are rough. Also, it's a short ass movie. Love that. Helps kind of like, I did lose it. I got like a little bit of lost interest in the like late second act of the movie. I was kind of like, all right. And then
what part is that?
I would say like post breakup with Hugh, and it just got a little bit like
when she's getting a new job and everything.
Yeah, we like kind of saw where all this was going, but I'm like, yeah, what is this job? What is this? What is going on? And it, but I still kind of liked hanging out. You know what I mean? I kind of like to be there, like hang out with her friends and kind of see where it's going. And I think that it's a good movie. And Your Inner Child's not an idiot. What do you think, everybody? Your Inner Child's an idiot at gmail.com. You can text us or leave us a voicemail, 615-576-0525. You could write in your diary and then just share that with no one.
Don't let Mark see it. Jesus,
man.
Remember when the flies were in the room?
Yeah, what happened to those?
I guess they're dead.
You killed one of them. You can get both of them, did you?
I didn't think I did, but I don't see them now. They ain't buzzing about unless one got out while I had the door experiment, but then there was leaving one in here. There was leaving one in here.
Mm-hmm.
Me talk good now. All right.
Thank you to our patrons for supporting the show. If you want to support like them, you can go to patreon.com/InnerChild'sAnIdiot. We want to thank, we're going to thank them in our best English accent, obviously, including
yes, good.
Lindsay Halik.
Oh, Bert, is that you? Larissa Maestro.
Oh no, Damon's Australian accent, isn't it?
Travis Vance.
T. Smith.
Lindsay Nell.
Little Miss Chicken Nugget.
Karen Curd.
Beth Surmont.
Dr. Malcolm's Heaving Bosom, yeah?
Heather Tuggle.
Hizoner the Mayor.
Jeremy Powlen.
Tippi von Cheaterly.
The Hands of Fate.
Bill Haynes.
Supreme ruler of this podcast.
Stu-StusStuartJ.
Jonathon Day.
The Zesty.
Tommy Boy is Damon's favourite movie. You've probably never heard of that, being that you're English.
Never made it across the pond. Jackson used to have an unhealthy obsession with Damon, but it ended when he heard his Buffy verdict. Oh, that's a shame.
Caroline Amberson. That sounds English already.
Just starting with Caroline. Josh Frigo.
Zachary Hartley.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Shit on the cartouche.
Particle Man.
The elusive fan Gromkin. Thank you all very much, and sorry about that.
Patreon.com.
Patreon.com/InnerChild'sAnIdiot.
No matter how love, ain't no river wide enough. That's enough, money-wise. Oh, you're going to play it on the what have you. Now we have to pay for the chords, too. We have to pay for lyrics and chords.
Listen, baby.